This episode is brought to you by Bigfoot Finance. Bigfoot is the next generation multi-chain NFT marketplace that rewards all users, not just high volume whales like on OpenSea. Phase 1 is the release of their yield generating NFT network with tiered pricing. Every 100 NFTs sold will increase the price by $100 with the daily payouts available. This is a no high yield promising network with reasonable and fair ROI. Visit bigfoot.finance for more information, link in the description below.
This my two Satoshis, who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis, yeah.
Hola, buenos dias, G and G's. My name is Trek2Ks, and this is my two Satoshis, and I'm here on CBTV. If you don't know, it's Crypto Blood TV, and so let me just jump into one or two things at the beginning of this to say thank you for the folks who are tapping in, who are watching the episodes. Thank you to the folks who are leaving comments. Much appreciation and thanks to the folks who are doing a thumbs up, and I even thank the folks who are doing the thumbs down. I appreciate y'all too. Why? Because you're showing the algos that we have some level of interaction going on, right? But the people who are telling other folks about it, I double appreciate y'all for telling other folks to tap in. And yeah, like I'm just saying on behalf of the rest of CBTV crew, thank y'all for what y'all are doing and tapping in for what we're putting out there. And I can just continually hope that something of what I say does click for how you understand this crypto thing, for how you understand other things going on in the world around you and where you are in life. Not a financial advice, but hopefully something helps you, right? That's at least the bottom line of what I would like to see happen, or at least know is going on out there. Other than that, if you don't know how the show works, is basically I go through posts, I go through news articles, whether they be mainstream or crypto related or on the woo-woo side of things, and I just give my two Satoshis on how I'm understanding them based on my experience in the space or other things that I've been around, and so that's the basic idea. So let's just jump into it. First story is across the pond to the Muggins them, and we're talking about crypto muggings. Bottom line is crypto muggings is not a new thing. If you were around in the 2016-17 period, it was some crazy stuff going on out here, man. Like people was getting kidnapped, who was getting put up for ransom, folks was getting shot, like, and it wasn't necessarily the American stories. They were like one or two home invasion stories that I heard here, but a lot of stuff was going on in the UK and like Eastern Europe, at least. And I'm not saying it was like 50 events happening a month, but for the stories that I heard, majority of it was Europe. Nonetheless, this story in particular is basically saying, hey, people need to be careful. They need to watch out. They give these two examples as how people got robbed. In this example, these people got walked up on. It was a couple. They were ordering an Uber, and so the folks got them out of a Coinbase app. Here's the thing. This person did not have, or it might be that they're leaving it out in the story. I'm not 100%, but at least the way it's written, this person didn't have 2FA or any other kind of authentication thing going on their Cash App, their Coinbase account. And so they were able to get in the phone, take 5,000 pounds, and then give the person back the phone, and they didn't realize it till later. It happens like that, right? Then what was the other one? In this story, dude was in the process of trying to get drugs. Here's the thing. One, they were able to read wherever he was, they were able to read that he had a habit, and he probably did something that indicated he had crypto. And so even though he had the facial recognition app to be able to open the phone, sounds like he had an iPhone then, they still got him for 6K, right? It's one thing to be able to move freely or move internationally or locally with access to crypto, and you can have whatever amount of funds you want on you. But you got to remember, in this kind of environment and game of it, what people are understanding now who aren't the techie savvy folks is it's still a numbers game. If I'm in an area where people have smartphones and people usually have money because they're out in like those, not touristy, but like the party spot neighborhoods, the odds are they have something on their phone that is connected somehow to money. And so what do? If you do 100 people, you probably get like 30% of them that are crypto related, and probably 80 or 90% of them that are like traditional bank related. It's a numbers game, people. And so that's what the criminals are realizing. And so here you have it. I just say the same thing all the time. You got to be careful out there. Times are changing where now it's not only worrying about the criminal element, but you're also worried about the government side of it too. And I want to make this point on what David Garrett said. They quoted him from his book, 50-Foot Blockchain, but this isn't right. So he says, if I get robbed and they force me to make a bank transfer, the bank can trace where the money has gone, and there are all sorts of comebacks. You can reverse the transaction. With crypto, if I transfer into my crypto wallet, I got your coins and you can't get them back. This is technically not true. This statement is outdated, and I don't remember when he wrote the book, but it's not how it works right now. Not only am I tracing it, because of the KYC part of it, at some point I'm going to be able to figure out who you are in real world if you're like a Chainalysis or somebody. I forgot the name of the other firms. The point being is that even with the part of being able to trace who the person is, depending on what token or crypto thing you're using, they can either freeze it or they can reverse the transaction stuff. Look what just happened on crypto.com. They reversed transactions for Terra Luna on their exchange. Crypto.com just did that. Look at what the other stable coins, USDT, and I forgot the other one, that they can freeze, stop, reverse, and hold the coins or the tokens. They can do that at the base level of it, at their blockchain level of it. But no one talks about that. No one likes to admit that part of it's not as DeFi friendly as you think it is. Just saying, the statement's wrong. I'm jumping into this next story. So the other day, Adam back, smart dude in the space, he had said something about what was going on with Terra Luna and how the mainstream news was trying to explain to mainstream audience what was going on, which they had it totally wrong and totally confused. This is a lengthy thread, but I would argue it is definitely worth reading. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but I'm gonna throw it out there for the folks who are still going, well, I have to watch traditional news to understand what's going on in the crypto space. No, you don't. 9 times out of 10, they will point you in a direction or give you a frame of understanding that is either limited, or very wrong. And Adam Back makes that point in regards to this, where he says MSM coverage, as usual, was confused about UST versus USDT peg, and people read and trade confusion. The information asymmetry is juicy for traders who know what's going on, but it is annoying that markets are being moved around by basic ignorance amplified by financial news orgs. So what he's saying is you have the traditional news media centers that don't really understand the space because they're still trying to look at it from the traditional financial metrics of how to understand markets and economy stuff. And so you then have the people who are actually from traditional trading side of the space, and they're also in the new age digital assets, the cryptocurrencies, they're in that side of it. So not only do they get what's going on here because they're hands-on, they also know the other side of the traditional market, and they can make that crossover. But that's not the people who are giving you the information on the news channels. That's the point that he's trying to make. And like I said, interesting thread. The link for it will be in the comments, so you can definitely get through that when you get a chance, if you're so interested, right? Not telling you what you have to do, but just saying it's one of those things you could deep dive into. All right, so this last one, I forgot where I came across this, and it got my attention because if you haven't, well, not everyone's paying attention to all of the news stuff that's going on, especially on the technical side. So this basic page right here, all known smart contract side and user side attacks and vulnerabilities in Web 3.0, DeFi, NFT, and Metaverse plus bonus. And this came out March 31st. And the basic idea of why I put this on is because, hey, if you want to better prepare yourself, if you want to upskill yourself, or at least have some kind of understanding beyond just, I know smart contracts are related to the internet. I would say take the time, and granted, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's X amount of the technical dev side part of it, but they give it to you in graduals and they give it to you with graphics and everything. And it's not that you have to learn it all in one day. It's not that you have to understand it at the coder level. The reason why I'm sharing this is because for how this space is moving right now, there are a lot of platforms that are promoted as DeFi, that are promoted as Web3, when they're really still centralized, and they're like centralized on the far right of the scale, because centralized is a sliding scale thing for technology, right? And then at the same time, there's a lot of platforms that are marketing as Web3 when they're really still Web2. That's the other part of it. And the point here is you don't have to learn it at the coder level, but to have some understanding of what is the differences between these protocols and what type of vulnerabilities can affect you as the end user. Because these are the smart muggers. These are the smart people who know how to do the hacking on the techie side. They're not the ones running up on you in a club or in the alleyway. They're not those ones. But you could at least do some level of work on yourself and how you have your setup in order to protect yourself. That's the bottom line of what I'm trying to offer in this information right here. Not saying you got to learn it at the coder level and be the super deep dive expert, but at least have some awareness, especially for those folks who out there being degens and you playing in the Ethereum ecosystem, the Solana ecosystem, the Polygon ecosystem, the Avalanche ecosystem. This stuff is going to matter to you more if you really want to increase your protection level, as they call it, security hardening, just to be aware, because you might change some of the platforms that you start messing with, how you're using your wallets and things like that. So definitely look through. Again, the link for this will be in the comments, in the description on this, so you can follow up for sure and deep dive that on your own. Other than that, I'm gonna close it out with these last couple of things. So as I've been saying, we've been working on some things in the background. And one of those things is we're giving away the Arculus hardware wallet. Crypto Blood and Little John did a how-to unboxing breakdown with it. And then Crypto Blood and Little John had the other day a giveaway on the live stream for the first one. So that's going to be one of the things that we do. That's going to be a members thing as far as who's eligible for it. Another thing that we're doing is we're giving out a limited number of tickets to the Blockchain Futurist Conference, which will be in August of 2022. It's going to be the 9th and the 10th. I'm going to be up there. Blood's going to be up there. And Little John's going to be up there too. So you can definitely check us out. And if you a company or something and y'all trying to get the word out on what y'all doing, or at least you're a conference, how about that? If you a conference and you want to work on getting the word out, maybe you might want to talk to us over at CBTV so we can get the word out. Other than that, I'm just leaving it to, if you're interested, definitely check in on the My Two Satoshis, and we drop the details on how you get those giveaways that we're given. And I just hope everyone has a good day, have a good week, and I'll see you on the next one. Again, I am Trek with 2Ks. This is My Two Satoshis on CBTV 1.